I'm John Toolsey of The Girl and the Fig. We're going to start off by making our brioche bread pudding with some apples and golden raisins. First, what we're going to do is we're going to start with getting our apples peeled. 3 apples are ideal. In this case, I'm just using a real simple Granny Smith apple. And we're peeling them down, and we're going to dice them. Save your cores. I always like to save the cores. There's a lot of good apple meat on there for other pieces in the future, or to make an apple caramel or a sorbet. We're just going to go ahead and dice up these apples here. We've got our apples cut up and in the bowl. Now we're going to move on to the rest of the ingredients. We're going to start with our eggs. We have 6 eggs. We're just going to go ahead and crack those in the bowl. I like to always have my eggs at room temperature, especially if I'm separating eggs, but just in general I find they whisk much easier. These are beautiful large eggs. And again, I always assume it's a large egg when you're reading recipes. And we're going to go ahead and add some brown sugar to these eggs. And we're going to whisk this up just till it starts to come together. At this point, we're going to add a little bit of our cinnamon, vanilla, and just a little bit of our cream milk mixture. And we're just going to whisk this together and go ahead and add those apples. And again, you can just see how easy this recipe is. And last but not least, our golden raisins. Right there. And there we go. That is our mixture. To this, we're going to add our brioche. So we've got some brioche here. This is brioche that we've actually let get stale on purpose. It's about 2 days old. What we're going to do, we're just going to go ahead and add that in right into the mixture. And we're going to gently stir it. We don't want to stir it too much, because if we do, we'll actually break down the bread. And that's not really what we're going for. So just go ahead and fold over that custard mixture until it's well incorporated. And then I believe the secret of a good bread pudding is really just making sure that you let the bread soak, but you don't let it soak so much that the bread loses its texture. In this case, we're going to let it sit for about 15-20 minutes. And then we're going to go ahead and put it in our pan and bake it. So as you can see, we've let this bread pudding sit, and that liquid that was at the bottom has been absorbed into the bread, but you'll notice the bread still holds its shape, and that's really what you want. You want it to have that nice custardy feel. It hasn't broken down, but you want it to absorb all that extra liquid. And that again takes about 10-15 minutes. Just let it sit. At this point, we're going to just go ahead and put it into a baking dish. And you don't have to spray this. If you wanted to have it come out perfectly and then cut it into squares, you could. But I think the rusticity of this dish is just it being scooped out and served directly at the table and shared amongst friends. We've got that in, and we're going to take this, get that guy, we're going to go ahead and walk it into a 350-degree oven and get it to go for about 45 to 55 minutes. What you're looking for is we're going to want to put a pick in it or a fork, and it comes out clean, just as if you were baking any custard. So that's basically the start on this, and we should be enjoying this in an hour. So the bread pudding has come out of the oven. You can see it's it's roasted up, still nice and hot. We're going ahead and serve it. My favorite time is to serve it when it's nice and hot. And I'm just going to take a beautiful spoonful right here. And the way I like to serve it is just rustic, just like this. But I like it just like that, and just a little drizzle of caramel over the top, and then take it right to the table.